Hello to you and to my squeaky chair.
We don't go the same places that we used to go.
I'll try and not move as much to avoid this, but I thought I'm gonna get ready with you. And I've recently done an unhaul, so I was trying to be quite harsh of what I keep and what I give away, but even then, I feel like this is probably not the last round. The books clearly did not like that idea because these are the reason why my costochondritis flared up again. Okay, do you care what I use? This is what I use for the primer. I will say that if you do notice a favorite of yours, don't get upset. There are actually some favorites of mine in here. Majority of them, however, are books I've not read. Doesn't mean that they're bad. I wouldn't know. I have not read them. But it does mean that I probably don't see myself reading them. So normally I give all of my books to the charity shops. I don't know if they're open yet. And I did put aside a couple that maybe are sought out from people looking for editions in hardcover or stuff like that are no longer printed in hardcover in UK, because they do that here. That I will probably post on an Instagram story, most likely for UK only, and just see if people want to grab it. As per usual, my outlook on this is that I don't want to hold on to books that some people would, have a nice home for them and actually enjoy them. In literally absolutely the most random order. Let's grab this one. The Pure Heart. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put it like this so you can pause and read in case you're wondering. I'm hoping it's focused. I don't have my glasses, so how would I know? So some of these books like this one will be from the book boxes, which makes absolutely a lot of sense. You get the book boxes for the items as well as a surprise. That does mean that sometimes you're gonna get the books that you might not want to read. And that's just the game of it. And a lot of the times, like, I open the box and I read about the book and I'm like, oh my god, that sounds so cool. But then, have you met me? I'm so slow. I can barely go through my TBR. And then a lot of the time, what happens is the time passes and my interest kind of dwindles. I've been using this for the last couple of weeks whenever I do put makeup on, which is not often, because I really wanted something super light. I hate the way that foundation feels on my face. I hate it. And I actually quite enjoy it. It's super light. This is the concealer that I'm using. I really should get one that's tiny bit lighter than this shade. Does it come? Yeah, it does come lighter than the shade. I used to put like fake eyelashes and stuff, but I really just can't be bothered. I like how I feel when I put makeup on. Putting on makeup has never been my favorite thing. Then we have another one. This actually does sound good. It's about sisters, but it's again one of those that I don't know when or if I'll get to it. And I'm just at the point where I really need to narrow it down. You will laugh at me for why this is here. It does sound cool because it is a duology, and I am partial to duologies. They appeal to me. Not that I've read many. I've literally read 2, but they appeal to me. And I don't know if you've been here long enough. If you haven't, hi, hello, I'm G. But anyway, I don't like coastal settings, which is crazy because I love water. I love being near water. It's calming like nothing else to me. I don't like reading about pirates. I know this is not going to be about pirates, or things that are focusing too much about water, and especially like the sea, salty, gloomy thing. I don't like it. Gonna go in with a little bit of setting powder. But the next one is When Dimple Met Rishi, and this sounds actually super cute. And it tackles like a arranged marriage and expectations. I had this since, dudes, I don't know, many years ago now, and I've not read it yet. And I always think like, oh, that's so fun. But now, since then, I've already got so many other little contemporaries that I would rather read. And that's the thing with me. Like, I don't read that many books normally, so I have to be a bit more selective. Okay, next one is the one that I did read, and that's 3 Dark Crowns. And actually, like 3 books of the series are somewhere here. I think they might be here. Oh, I can't lift it because I am unable to. So annoying. Like, I can't twist, like I can't lift it over. Anyway. I really actually quite like the covers, and I like that the spines are ombre. More ombre spines, please. Let's do eyebrows. Not that they are at all sorted. So Three Dark Crowns are about three sisters. I've read the first two. I had the third one and I just don't think that I'm gonna finish it. If I'm right, triplets. This runs in the Queen's kind of family. And they all have different abilities, and upon their 16th birthday, they're also raised separately, and upon their 16th birthday, they're supposed to like battle each other out, and only one remains, and then when they have children, they will also have three sisters that then they will have to kill each other when they're 16. I actually didn't mind it. When I did read it, it was quite fun. I just feel like now I've read too many things since then that once I read this, I feel like it's probably not going to be as fun for me. If that makes sense. It was very predictable, but it was still fun. The Lovely Bones. You might have heard about this or have seen the movie. I am the latter. I have seen the movie. I've not read the book and I don't think that I will. I keep thinking that I might, but I don't think I will. It's about a young girl that gets murdered, like a kid. And she is the narrator and she's telling you about her death and like can't quite remember. I think there was also child sexual abuse, so it's quite a heavy book. Another one that I have read and unhauling is Snow Like Ashes. This was fun. It was fun. I would not continue. I don't know if I thought I will when I just finished, perhaps. But it also took me way too long to read, considering lack of complexity in the story. But it was funny. Oh no. It was funny because it reminded me, like, the book type of plot with, like, magical amulets and stuff like that I plotted when I was a kid. And then I actually heard that said about the books from other people. And so to me, in my mind, is the definition of early YAs. I don't even think it's that old. It was fun, but it was hella predictable and it was very tropey. I think if I had that series when I was young, it would have been the best. But so then we have this, Heartstream. And this actually sounds like a very interesting premise. It's about a girl who kind of streams or documents her mother's illness. It says on the day of her mother's funeral, she goes home to find a fan of hers in the kitchen. She's rigged herself and the house with explosives and she's been waiting to talk to Amy for a long time. Ugh, screw it. I talked myself back into putting this into my TBR. Well, not TBR, but my shelves for sure. Damn it. This happened for this, like, the second time. I'm always just like, oh, man, illness. I live that life. I don't necessarily want to read that life. But, like, that second part, damn it, back it goes. This was a bad idea. Ugh. Autobiography. Sorry. This sounded super cute. Super cute. I think I then read the first, it was on my first chapter challenge. And it just didn't grip me. And again, this has been on my TBR for years now. And I feel like it's time to let it go. Let it go. But that is a queer male romance book, a contemporary. And I think the main character is Mormon. I didn't say what this is what I use for my brows. Just basic. I'm very basic. And this is, oh God. No, that went everywhere. We're just gonna ignore it. This is what I'm gonna use for my eyes and then probably something else as well. I don't know. I'm literally not doing much today. Next up, Beyond the Locked Door. But this was in one of the book boxes very long time ago. Kind of like a thing, horror mystery thing. So it sounds really cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like the mother and the daughter, they can travel into people's dreams, like they're dream walkers, and whatever dream she goes, she always sees this black door and she doesn't know what the hell that means and it's not supposed to be there. And it sounds really intriguing and really fun. But again, I've not picked it up. And the thing that made me finally say, okay, I'm gonna put this away, is the Goodreads rating. So it was 3.6, and it's quite hard to get that on Goodreads unless the book is definitely like more on the mediocre size. Obviously, I personally don't believe that reviews can be objective whatsoever. So that doesn't mean that I wouldn't have liked it, but that does mean that I'm not gonna try it. And this I got recently, so it stings a little bit because this definitely didn't stay here for a long time, but The Shadow War, and it's sort of like a historical fiction mixed with fantasy, but it's would kind of like set in the Nazi stuff, like during the World War II and growing up, where I grew up. That's all I read ever for school. Don't get me wrong, there's some stories that were brilliant and I really enjoyed it. I just had my fill, and I'm not looking for more. Don't panic. Then I have Red Rising and Golden Sun. This one actually I did get from a charity shop because I found it there, and this I had since like the beginning of times. But I have the hardcover editions, the Fairy Loot ones, so I don't need the paperbacks. And again, I'm trying to make sure that I don't keep more than I need. Another one called The Good Hawk, and this one, again, don't laugh at me, but it's a seaside book. Like they go into this magical forgotten land, so it could be potentially not even, that. But I don't feel the pull, so I must go. Okay, next one might be a bit controversial, so I don't know, grab onto your seats, but also don't hate me. Is The Crown of Feathers. This is a gorgeous Sprayed Edges edition of Owl Crate, I believe. Even have the author letter, so it will be Owl Crate. And I mean, it might be absolutely amazing. It could be. But it again is about some sisters, and one is against the other, and there's a betrayal, and rule or be ruled, and the crown sometimes is given and sometimes it has to be taken. And apart from obviously the very obvious fact that there are flying phoenixes, which is phoenixi, there are phoenix riders. It just sounds like a very much been there, done that. So this, Outwalkers, I love the cover, and the fact that it is set in like Scottish Highlands is the reason why it stayed in my library for so long, and I just don't think that I will get to it. From what I read on the reviews, it's quite young, and I just have way too much skin around my eyes and like on my eyelids. Not only are they hooded, they're just like scrotum. Honestly, just unsubscribe, it's okay, I won't judge. Another one, Lifelike by J. Christoph. Even though it ticks a lot of boxes technically, because it's about an android as far as I know. I have so many more other sci-fis that I want to read, and I think this just dipped and it's dipping out permanently now. Then we have All the Stars and Teeth, and this is the thing. Pirates. There's pirates. It's just a thing with me, okay? It's a thing with me. And it's also 3.7 on Goodreads. And as far as YA fantasy goes, for the most part now, I like to go with ones that are either recommended by someone who I trust or have overall like outstanding reviews, None of what I'm saying obviously is a rule. It just depends on how my mood is and whatnot. But is this okay? I can't see. One of the joys of doing your makeup when you have very bad eyesight is that every time it just looks okay until you put your glasses on. The next two books, again, one of my favorite, well, I only read the first one, but one of my favorite books now. I mean, one of my new favorites, almost, kind of. The Poppy War, the first and the second one. I love the Poppy War. I really enjoyed it. I do have hardcovers, so that's the reason. Off to the Better Home, to be enjoyed and hopefully loved just as much as I loved the first one and hopefully the second one. I think this was gifted by one of you guys, and I'm so sorry. I did not know that I'm gonna be able to get the hardcovers. But then Illumicrate did the hardcovers, and I obviously don't want to just like... I don't normally keep multiple copies of the same book, and I would rather someone else have it and enjoy, If it was you who gifted it to me, thank you so much, and it will hopefully bring joy to someone else now as well. Red Sister. I tried to read this and I DNF'd it at page 80 something. I just couldn't get into it, was not loving it, was extremely bored. Everything dragged. I did not care about the story. Probably very, very unpopular opinion. I can't speak during this part though, so I'll see you in a bit. Very much adequate. So that was a Kat Von D tattoo liner. And I'm gonna pretend to have some shadows onto my face with the hula thingy. Next up, An Ember in the Ashes with my very custom pages that I've made myself. I don't know if the charity shops would even take this. I think that app scanned it. I'm not sure. Regardless, we'll find a place for you. Again, I have a hardcover, so I don't need that. Similarly with this, well, I have a set from Fairy Loot again. So there's actually another hardcover of this that I will see if anyone wants. I don't know if they're out of print. I think they might be out of print. No amount of bronzer will ever Delete the double chin. Then we have this little boy. I really like it. It's just like a duo of a blush, and I used both of them. Like, both of them, you know? Oh, wait, hey, we found another one. Snow Like Ashes? Is it Snow Like Ashes? Because again, I have a couple of those. Then we have this that I accidentally bought in Spanish, thinking that it was in English. And I also did not send it back to Amazon. So the next one is something that I signed up. I was on the waiting list for a while. I don't know why, I just like signed up for the Goldsboro fantasy and sci-fi, I think, subscription books. That's basically like a monthly book. But there's this book, absolutely stunning and beautiful. And it's like signed and numbered and all of that jazz. But it's just not something that I want to read. See if anyone wants that, because it's quite like exclusive and whatnot. But then we have Romanov right there. The start of that synopsis there, it says that it's following Nastia, who was given a single mission to smuggle an ancient spell into her suitcase on her way to exile in Siberia. Without getting into it, my grandfather and my grandmother were actually exiled in Siberia and were there in the labor camps. My aunt and uncle were actually born in Siberia, and I lived through hearing the stories and seeing the actual aftermath of that. So this is nothing against the book. It's just a bit too personal, and it's just not a not needed kind of risk for me to take. It could be amazingly done, and even then I don't need it. Anyways, then we have the Genevieve Deception Arthur retelling, and I actually heard not great things. And again, as I already covered for the YA now, if I hear consistently not amazing things about it, I will most likely let it go. And then City of Brass, very similarly to some other ones here, I have a hardcover and I have a hardcover set as well. So this one is definitely, I know some people are looking for because it's been out of print. So again, we'll be on Instagram trying to find a new home for it. Am I even doing makeup anymore? Hoi Lloyd is literally just like a rude, sleek one. The next one, I genuinely don't even know much about. And I've read the synopsis, obviously, when I got it. And then every time I do the unhaul, it's again one that survived a couple rounds. Because I genuinely, again, cannot remember what this is about. Other than like generic queen stuff, you know? Probably sisters. Again, maybe? I don't know. Has deckled edges. I don't know. I keep forgetting about it. So I just feel like it's probably not gonna be for me. So this one, Shadow Stand. Beautiful, stunning art that I got again in a box. But again, another one that kept jumping in and out of my keep it or give it away, or keep it or give it away. So this book is a retelling, I think. But it's so vague that it doesn't intrigue me much. That's all I'm going to say on that one. Ready Player One. Really enjoyed the book. I actually also enjoyed the movie. Unpopular opinion. I enjoyed it. But I now have a hardcover. Fangirl. I've only ever read one book by Rainbow Rowell, and that was Eleanor Park. I disliked it before it was cool to dislike it. I know that a lot of people resonated with the character, and I think especially around the time where there was not necessarily an abundance of anxiety rep in YA books. And I feel like there's probably more to pick from now. And so next up is another contemporary that I actually was really excited about. And this one I am specifically unhauling because of Gavin. So Gav, if you're watching, this one's entirely on you. You disliked this book with such passion that I feel like our friendship would be legitimately questioned if I read it and liked it. So in order to avoid that type of fracture between us, I am actually gonna give it away. So it's What If It's Us? Another one. Super unpopular opinion coming your way. It's Mooncakes. Everyone and their mother absolutely loved this. I didn't. The plot, this seemed like some sort of story you made to like present to a friend in like 5 minutes. I'm sorry, I know this sounds so harsh, but I just really I thought it was very lazy. I come to read for a story first and foremost. It was so insta-lovey and so many things made zero sense. The adults were Useless. Another one. This is this one actually sounded kind of cool, but then I did ask you guys, and you guys honestly said that this will be too young for me, and I can see that. I can see that. The Short Knife. I think this was also a little bit about, like, it's set in Britain as far as I'm aware, which not necessarily a red flag, I wouldn't say that far obviously, but it's also not a setting I seek. As well as having not the best of ratings. At 3.7 is not terrible, but it's not the best. I found the other ones for the 3 Dark Crowns. Oh, to be young and have barely any eyelashes. And that's actually everything. That's all the books, I say as if that's not many. It's always tiny bit painful, but I just have to remind myself that it's gonna be in the better hands and a better home. That makes me feel like I've been a bad home. This has probably been quite a long video, so if you stayed here, well done. Stay awesome, stay kind, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.